Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast which we disassemble a film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute segments and then examine it in obsessive and occasionally hilarious detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Swashbuckling Ladies Debate Society podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco. And Kyle.
Yes, sir.
From time to time, as we are adults, we like to partake.
Though the last episode people might quibble about.
Okay, occasionally there's the 14-year-olds in us that
yes,
that
come out to play.
Right. But, but since we are adults, we're grown men, we, occasionally like to partake in an alcoholic beverage of choice. Mm-hmm. And inevitably, if you've ever had a drink, especially if you've gone to a bar, you've heard other people who have different likes and dislikes of beverages, you may have heard them use the term dirty. Now, you may wonder, in the world of alcoholic beverages, what does that mean? The word dirty refers to the addition of olive juice or brine, and brine being like the stuff that the olives are sitting in, like pickles and all that kind of stuff. And the most popular reference is to variations of what is considered the original sort of gin martini or a vodka martini. You could also do it with vodka. You can make a drink such as this as dirty as you like by pouring the olive juice to suit your taste. So again, gin or vodka martinis, they are made with the gin or the vodka and some proportion of vermouth. Now, since we're talking about terms and drinks, here's something else you may not have known. You've heard the term dry and wet. It may be a martini, a dry martini.
Oh, sure.
Right? Well, that comes to the proportions of those things. So if it has more gin or vodka, it is considered dry. If it has more vermouth, then it is considered wet. So if you want a dirty, dry martini, you want one that has some additional olive brine or the olive juice and has more vermouth. So that's how the beverage works. And actually, that's become that term dirty, saying that, is also applies to even other drinks like mojitos. So if you order a dirty mojito, what they'll do is instead of using white granulated sugar, they'll use the raw sugar, which will give the drink sort of a yellowish, sort of a dirty look to it. That term applies obviously to other drinks. In the presence of mind of just keeping everything as a higher brow here on the Marvel Movie Minute, I just wanted to make sure that we understood that dirty applies to drinks. That may be important for the minute that we're about to discuss. That may be important
as we get a crash course in mixology here at minute 53 of Iron Man 2 for 2010, director Mr. Jon Favreau. And yeah, we've got a very, I guess I will say this is an intimate scene because it is just Tony and Natalie talking, but it has some interesting connotations, so we're going to get into it here. So, and when last we left them, Tony thought he should cancel the party. And Natalie responds, probably. And as we pick up here, he says, yeah, because Natalie says, ill-timed. And Tony says, right, sends the wrong message. And Natalie says, inappropriate.
Yeah.
As Tony then takes a long drink from the martini that Natalie's just handed him, and she says, is that dirty enough for you?
Oh, you're saying that she says, is that dirty enough for you, is not giving the full description of what happens.
Yeah, I gotta say, like
she purrs it.
Yes, I really like what Scarlett Johansson is doing in this scene. Like, obviously, we talked about before, like, they have her made up to look gorgeous. Like, the dress is immaculate, the heels, the makeup, the hair. I mean, like, they have her, like, looking as radiant as she's ever looked in a movie. So, like, that is definitely, like, a definite choice of, like, look how beautiful this beautiful woman is. Forget that. But the way she plays this scene is so flat that it allows you to sort of put whatever you want onto it.
Right.
So she's not doing, I can't even think, LA Confidential is what came to mind, but like she's not doing like sex kitten, I guess is the term I've heard. Like she's not being femme fatale in this, which she can do, but is not. She's playing it so low that it allows you to think, is that what she means? Are you like, or not? Like she's playing actually woman of mystery here really, really well, because you don't know exactly where her intentions are at, where she is in the thing. She's just standing there looking pretty, answering you exactly like you think that she would. It's like, so I mean, you can see this is the first time Tony Stark is confused. Like he can't figure it out.
Well, no, he's been confused because we talked about his confusion meeting her for the first time in the boxing ring, right?
Yeah.
Like he's been confused. This though is super confusing, and I think there's a lot of layers to this.
Yeah.
She is really. He's looking at her, the whole thing. I mean, okay, and let's talk about this. Like, what a great way this scene plays out in that here they're having the conversation. Oh, it's ill-timed. Yeah, it sends the wrong message. Yeah, it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
While she's walking to him with the drink.
Yes.
This is
continuing to help him get ready.
Yeah, I mean,
like it's sort of like they both know this is going to happen. Like the party is going to happen.
Well, no, see, actually, I read more into this because I think Tony's standing there like, is she telling me to cancel the party because we're gonna have a party? Like, what's going on?
Is she into me or
is
not?
Like, no, and I mean, like, she's really into me, or is she? Or is she? Because
or
what
she's
she's doing,
really good at her job.
Because right now
she's a personal assistant.
She is balancing the line between helpful assistant and incredibly overt seductress.
Yeah.
And it's brilliantly done. Yeah. And he's blown away. And I actually even think you get a little bit, and I'm reading way now more into this, but I love Tony's, his apprehension, and it's apprehension what he has is, whoa, I think this is happening. Oh, I don't know if I want this to happen, Pepper. You know, and yet, oh, wow, this is happening. It's just all different stuff going on. And when she says, I mean, seriously, the mic drop is that dirty enough for you? Because, good Lord, like the whole set, just the whole way this is drawn out. Tony, you just literally, I mean, honest to God, there should be a gag reel where she says that, and Tony just, his eyes roll back in his head and he drops to the floor. Like, that's it. I'm done. No, it's, I mean, I think it just shows, again, and, you know, using that sort of sexual attraction as a weapon, weaponizing it, right, in this situation, which is what she's doing.
Yeah. So, like in terms of, the Black Widow, she's doing exactly what she's supposed to do. Like,
yes.
She is 100% professional, doing exactly the job she was brought there to do, which is get in close to Tony Stark. And this is as close as you can get.
Oh, no, exactly right.
Right now, but I mean, like, she is the inner circle, you know? Right. She is like privy to all of these things, which is what she was hired, what she was commissioned to do. It's great.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Tony's next line is actually a callback to minute 52, which is when she was asking what watch she wanted. So he says, gold face, brown hand, the Jaeger. I'll give that a look. Bring them over. So he's not talking about a Jaeger like you would have in Pacific Rim. This is actually a watch from manufacturer Jaeger Le Couture SA, or simply Jaeger La Couture. It's a Swiss luxury watch and clock manufacturer founded by Antoine Lecoultier in 1833, based in Le Sentier, Switzerland. Right now, I was curious, like, I couldn't find exactly what it is because they become collector's items. They don't make that many watches, but like right now, if you wanted to buy a watch, the cheapest men's watch you could get from Lecoultier, from Jaeger, is about $6,000, and it's basically like, this is like the low end one. They're not the nicest watches, not the ones you'd want to be wearing to the fancy opera premiere or whatever that you want to do. They're very flat and skinny. I was like, I'm not a big watch guy. I have my Apple Watch. I'm good with that.
Right.
But I look at that. But then they go all the way up to, like, on their website, the most expensive watch you can buy from them right now is $48,000.
Well, actually, they even go higher. I think they've got some of their more detailed ones. If you do a quick search on this, you'll see that they specialize too in the watches that have the exposed mechanics, so that you can see all of the clockwork that's actually going on in there. I mean, they've got watches that are going for upwards of almost $300,000.
Yeah.
Based on in the collector's market.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of like the Harley Davidson thing, where it's like after they do their initial run, then there's only so many that they make. You know, forced scarcity, so that then they become collector's items as they go on there. So this is a prestige watch thing, which is one of the things that I do not understand about the 1%. It's just like, look, I could have a car or I could have this thing on my wrist.
Well,
okay.
But it's all relative. I mean, when you got $1 billion, it sort of scales.
Yeah.
Well, and also too, these kind of watches, if you're, and I'm unfamiliar with these watches, Apple Watch as well.
Yeah.
There's these boxes that a lot of people who collect these watches or have these watches, they put them in, and they're not just regular boxes. They're boxes where the watches actually go on a sort of like a pillow apparatus, and that will actually turn and wind the watches.
Yeah.
So, literally, it's beyond anything. I mean, I think actually when Apple tried to emulate this in the very first editions of the original Apple Watch, the very first edition versions, which they called the edition, were like the $14,000 ones. Yeah. They came in a box that sort of replicated that experience of these kind of watches, because again, they were trying to enter a market and they wanted to appeal to most of us who are lowly Apple consumers, right? Who want the basic stuff. And they also wanted to appeal to the people who were like, well, I only spend $15,000 for my watches each. What are you going to give me? And that's why they would do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And that's why they're edition, because they didn't make that many, because there's not that many people out there who would be like,
it was all
I want to
PR.
get the same guts as anything, but I want to spend 10 times as much.
That's a PR move. The reason why Apple does stuff like that is so that people can say, oh my God, they make a $14,000 watch, like $700 Mac Pro wheels. Yeah. You're only making those so you can say you do. That's all. Anyway. That's a Justin Hammer move. That's that's how that works.
So as they're talking, then she comes up, and once again, this is the intimacy part. She gets very, very close to him as she decides to start putting makeup on to cover his bruise.
But do you notice though? She hands him the watches. She sits on the ledge, and we've seen that this chair is well suited for that because it's a very thick chair with flat armrest. Yeah. She sits down, and Robert Downey Jr. does such a great job of this. He looks at her and he kind of cracks a little bit of a smile, and a very vulnerable smile. And he's looking at her like, oh, what's going to happen now? Yeah. It's very much like, and for her, because we know what her mission is, or we have a great understanding, she knows he's right there now. He's right in the palm of her hand. Yep. Totally has got it. So. Yeah.
And so then she starts putting makeup on him, basically covering the bruise he got from the fight in Monaco. Even though it's been 6 days or whatever, he's still healing. So that's why he doesn't have all the other cuts on his face. We assume those are healed because superheroes heal fast.
I kind of wish, and you see this sort of in when it cuts to the shot of him where she's applying the makeup. Yeah, I kind of almost wish there would have been a little moment where he's looking at her like, so what's going to happen now? She opens up the makeup and puts her finger in it, and then he goes, oh. And turns his face. I think that would have been kind of funny.
The job that I hired you to do, right?
Oh, that's right. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Thank you. Never mind.
Yeah. So, but then he says what we're all thinking, which is, I got to say it. It's hard to get a read on you. Where are you from? And she says, legal.
Greatest answer ever.
That's just fantastic and delivered perfectly. She answered the exact question he asked in a straight matter-of-fact way, but not at all what he was going for. And so then he okay, not getting anywhere that way. Let's try something else. And he says, can I ask you a question hypothetically? Bit odd. If this was your last birthday party you were ever going to have, how would you celebrate it? Now, we know that she knows what's going on, right? Because we're living in the future, right? Which is a great place, and also where we're going to spend the rest of our lives, right? Shout out to Plan 9. We know that she knows that he's dying. We know that she knows that she knows that he has palladium poisoning and is dying, and so because Nick has told her all this stuff, she is up to date on this stuff. So her answer's a little odd for that. I know she's keeping her cover, but it's sort of so she says, "I do whatever I wanted to do," and unfortunately the line gets cut off there.
Yeah, that's the end of the minute.
That's literally the end of the minute. We're going to find out what the rest of that is. Well, but it's a strange thing, because even from Natalie Rushman, from Natalia Romanoff, is it a good idea to push him?
Well, okay, but this gets into now, and we're going to get into this because I think this is a very intriguing part of the movie.
Yeah.
What is her role? What is her job right now? So her job, I think it's a few things.
Yeah.
Not only is it to infiltrate and be right there with him
and monitor,
but I actually think it is to push him over the edge.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
To get him into desperate places where he'll be more easily manipulated by Nick.
Well, that he's going to be more easily manipulated. He is going to require their help.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what's going to happen. Spoiler. And I think that is what this has all been pointing to. Her point is that I am here to push you over the edge, to push you into your own oblivion by your own hand. You're welcome.
That's like just like she's not driving him to the cliff. She's just handing him the keys.
Here you go. Here you go. Car's pointed. Just get in. You just, no, and I think that is. I think that's exact. And again, we'll get into this. All this stuff about finding out what she knows and how.
Yeah,
we're very close. It's going to get really good, and I think it's good right now. Actually,
I say it's a good scene because the movie and the scenes are going to take a downward turn as we go on here. So I think once again we've hit a hill and we're about to drop way down.
No puns there. All right.
So if you want to talk about the ups and downs of this, a good place to do that would be on Discord. Discord is a good place for these kind of long form communities, much better than, like Facebook. I mean, who has a Facebook group anymore? Discord is where the real conversation is happening.
Well, but I didn't the last one. Didn't we just talk about Facebook?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't listen to the show.
Okay. Okay.
Well, who would want to listen to a Marvel movie show? No. The Facebook is for sharing pictures, but Discord is where conversations happen.
Oh, real conversation.
That's right, and also a good place for sharing Marvel memes. So our channel has been really deficient in terms of Marvel movie memes. So we need you up there, people. And the best part about Discord is it's free.
Well, there's that. I mean, that's good too.
You can get into our channel or any of the channels from all the different shows for the next real family of podcasts. We're all there at various times. So come have those conversations, get into it, and be nice.
I mean, yeah. What fun is then where's the fun?
Right.
Oh my God, why am I encouraging that? That's not
so the party kicks off in minute 54. You do not want to miss it. So ain't no party like a Tony Stark party, because Tony Stark party has a really unsatisfying ending. Enough said.
Bye.